Did Mamelodi Sundowns benefit in the last night match, the Caf Champions League quarter-final second leg against Esperance, the match that took place last night against Esperance out in Tunis? Those who were able to watch the match, or those who have been able to watch the highlights, the clips, especially for the goal that was scored by Esperance, only to be disallowed through the VAR. Do you guys think Mamelodi Sundowns benefited out of that situation? Because that looked like a legitimate goal. In all fairness, that looked like a legitimate goal. You can go through and check that goal. Can Google, can check it on other different platforms. Look at that goal, you see even the line that is being drawn there. There's no offside there. There's totally no offside there that one can pinpoint it. So indeed, one can say that Esperance were hard done by that, right? The fact that, of course, we want our South African teams, to do well on the continent. That does not mean we want them to do well at the expense of fairness, right? At the expense of fairness and the integrity of the game. You see? Because we must also look at the fact that last season, Mamelodi Sundowns, in the quarter-final stages, how Mamelodi Sundowns eliminated the young Africans. There was a controversy as well. In terms of the younger school that was disallowed. And incorrectly so. And Mamelodi Sundowns went on to eliminate younger. Mamelodi Sundowns went on to eliminate younger at that stage of the competition. So we see the same thing that is repeating itself here. We see that thing repeating itself. So I'm asking that, in your view, those who were able to watch the match, if you guys were able to watch the match, what did you make of that decision? Do you agree that was an offside? To agree with the match official, especially the VAR? Because what must understand, the assistant ref, what we call the linesman in the common language, and the referee, they had given it a goal. But of course the VAR intervened. So do you think the VAR got it right, got it correct? And what also must concern us is that when the VAR was doing this review, as well as communicating to the referee, we're not being shown the action. We're not being shown that what is that they are looking at. Because you know normally how it works. We've seen how the VAR is being used. It can be in the FIFA World Cup, UEFA Champions League, or the European, the European leagues. Right across the globe. We've seen how that when there's a decision that is under review, then will be shown that what is it that the VAR is reviewing, or the referee, when the VAR calls the referee over. If the situation comes to that, then will be shown that what is it that they are looking at. But in this instance, in this case, we're not shown that. It was not shown to us. So it's something that raises lots of concerns, right? For any genuine football support, for anyone who loves football. Here I'm not talking about people who are talking about banter, because you know people who are talking about banter each time when their team benefits out of the dubious referee decisions, they will tell you to go to the police station and open a case and all of that. Of course, those are not the people who've got the game of football's best interest. You see, those are just people who are interested in the banter and seeing their team succeeding at all costs. They are not necessarily concerned with how the game should progress and all of that. And especially as South Africans, we should be worried by this. The reason why we should be so worried as South Africans, it is because we've been calling for the introduction of this VAR. Okay, we are the ones who are especially into our leagues and all of that. But now you ask yourself the question, but seemingly that this VAR will not be able to eliminate what I call deliberate poor match officiating. Because it is one thing if the referees, the linesmen, they've made a mistake. Of course, the VAR has to intervene and rescue the situation and all of that. But now when the referee and the linesman, they've made a correct decision, only for VAR to intervene And by so intervening, not even calling the referee over to come and witness what is it that the VR is talking about, then the decision gets overturned. It raises concern. We must be concerned in that, because seemingly that VR is not going to solve our problems. It's not going to solve the problems that we're confronted with in our domestic football. Look at how in England, there's still complaints in terms of how the VR conducts itself. They're still concerned. There's still certain things that they're not happy with because of how the VR gets to conduct itself and all of that. So we must be worried by all of that, that it takes away the integrity and the credibility of the game. Right now, Mamelodi Sundowns are in the semifinals, but they cannot get to enjoy it fully because there's this dent that how they progressed, how they made it to the semifinals. And considering that even last season, under similar dubious circumstances, Mamelodi Sundowns progressed. You see, of course, people will insult me, will insult those who are questioning this, but we understand that because some people, they lack that intellectual capacity and the credibility themselves. Because if you support what you know it is wrong, you support it because it benefits you, then it means you as an individual, you will lack the credibility, you will lack the integrity. So we cannot do much about that. When people lack the integrity, we cannot really do much about it. Of course, those who lack integrity will be insulting those who've got the integrity, who are saying, but this is wrong, no matter who's benefiting out of it. Because it cannot be Mamelodi Sundowns supporters who are supporting that kind of thing. Because in the local league, they've been insulting Orlando Pirates, saying Orlando Pirates are benefiting. Especially looking at the cup finals, where Orlando Pirates defeated Mamelodi Sundowns. They've been pointing at the things and all of that. But it cannot be now when the situation turns around, all of a sudden, no, it is a good thing that you win under dubious circumstances and all of that. But what do you guys make of that? Do you think Sundowns benefited, or the VAR was correct and all of that? And how the VAR conducted itself in terms of not calling over the match officials to come and see what is that they're reviewing, and also not showing to us what is that they're reviewing. What did you make of that whole scenario? Thank you very much just for tuning in. Please remember to subscribe, remember to like and comment. Thank you very much, guys.